A very good morning to you, Desiree. Indeed, the South African Army are busy handing over these refurbished homes here in Galeshewe to the Situareng old age home, and it has been in a deplorable state. Roofs were leaking, toilets not usable, but they have now a ray of hope, and the elderly people here this side complained about the appalling conditions that they've been living in, not getting assistance from the local authorities. But today there's some kind of hope, because the South African Army stepped in and saying that they had to work on this project since they heard about it, because it's also their duty to restore the dignity of the people. And also we heard earlier on at this event that it is also our duty to look after the elderly. But joining me now is Lieutenant General Lawrence, and he is from the South African Army. A very good morning to you, General. Why did the South African Army decide to come to Galeshewe and work on this project to restore the dignity of the elderly?
Good morning, and good morning to all viewers of the SABC. It all started when the Commander-in-Chief of the Republic of South Africa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Cyril Ramaphosa, indicated his wish and desire that the South African National Defence Force should be seen as a people's force that works with the communities, that contributes to the communities. Today we are celebrating this historic milestone as an attestation and confirmation that the South African National Defence Force is indeed a people's force. Now, as part of the mandate that comes from the citizens of this country, the South African National Defence Force has been mandated to defend and protect the sovereignty, be a guarantor of peace and stability and security to our people. Now, the South African Army, as part of its community outreach program, what we are celebrating today with our elders today, it's an affirmation of the fact that we do care and we belong to those communities. It started with our charity golf, and this project, together and jointly with the #1 citizen of Solplaatje municipality and its executive, they gave us the key. They have allowed us to identify this project, and with this project, with one of our capabilities, our engineer capability, we immediately came in working together with the manager and the local sponsors. We were able to refurbish this facility from the state it was up to the state that we are confirming today, and the moment that we are celebrating with our elders, affirming that we are a force that cares, we are a force that is there for our people, we are indeed a people's force. So that is a very historic milestone, but we also say thank you to the community of Situareng, the community of Galeshewe, for the warm welcome that they have displayed for the armed forces, and in particular for members of the Lions Pride.
Just in brief, because I know we need to go, because we are getting ready for the walkabout, General Mbata. Yeah. Are we looking at other projects that you are going to work on to do the same on other projects to assist the elderly?
In fact, it is the approach of the entire collective leadership of the South African Army. Today we are in Kimberley. Tomorrow we are going to have our charity golf day. We are going to identify another province where we believe we will identify the most vulnerable area. Directed by the local municipality, we will continue to make a difference where it matters most. If possible, if we can, and blessed by our donors, we intend to cover most of the provinces with the limited resources that we have.
Thank you very much, General Mbata. I'm also joined now by the manager of the Situareng Old Age Home, Mr. Stephen Mabeka. Sir, if you can just paint a picture for us how these houses looked before, please.
Well, today we are very happy. If you see them around here, these houses were depleted. You could see it through the walls of the cracks, how the cracks were. And inside the paints, the roofs were leaking. The doors were not closing properly. So the elders was very vulnerable to any situation up until the army came. And when the army came, we we were a little bit optimistic that would they be able to do it. But today we're very proud, General, and we say thank you very much to you from the bottom of our hearts. That we thank everybody involved, as well as the army that was very cooperative, and we were happy for them to be around here, and we applaud them for what they did for our elderly. Now our elders are going to sleep in peace. When it rains, they are not going to take buckets and put them around for the water as the water was pouring down. The doors are going to close properly. They are going to be, if it's warm, then it's cool in their houses, and if it's cold, it's going to be warm. So their dignity has been brought back to them. And we say thank you for SA Army, especially for the Chief Army, for having taken this initiative to see to it that the old people also have to enjoy what other people do.
Thank you very much. And it also doesn't help that we are talking about the refurbished houses, but our viewers are not getting a glimpse. Ditswanele, if I can just ask you just to take us through, and for our viewers just to get a glimpse of what it looks like now, Mr. Bika. Thank you so much. Well,
this is now the kitchen area. This is the kitchen area and your sitting place. So they have installed these cupboards. They've put the plugs here. There was no plugs. They could only use whatever they could use in order to access them. As you could see on the floor as well, that we now have tiles on the floor behind you and at the ceiling here. There's also a cupboard where they can put their pots and pans. The ceiling itself, you can almost feel it now. It's no longer so hot as it was outside. So it's because of what they did for us. And here you see it's the sleeping area. This is the sleeping area. They provided them with a brand new bed as well. So those old beds now are going to go out. The plugs are in here. The floor is beautifully finished. It is painted inside. They provided curtains as well. And when we get through here, this is where the toilet is. They've got a wash basin to wash their hands here, and as well a shower. A very workable shower here. When they're into the shower, then they can shower properly. Before they could not do it because when they put on the shower, automatically the water was just pouring to the walls. But we are very grateful for that now.
Thank you very much. Well, Desiree, just a glimpse of what the refurbished houses of the elderly looks like now, and the South African Army also saying that this project won't be the first and also not be the last. They are also looking to work on other projects to restore the dignity of the most vulnerable. So I believe that the elderly people here, they are happy because before they couldn't say that as a fact. But dignity has been restored once again here in Galeshewe, and that through all the relevant stakeholders who played a part. But also this project was led by the South African Army. Back to you in Studio, Des.